OHMC in the USA. OHMC in the USA. Hiking in the USA.
All right, we have made it to Dix Creek Gap. Got our gear out here waiting. Pat's with me today.
Yes, I am.
Last hike of the season.
Yep.
So we're here at Dix Creek Gap. We're waiting for Grace, our shuttle driver. She should be here shortly, and she's going to drive us to Neel's Gap. We're going to do a 38-mile hike, Neel's Gap to Dix Creek Gap. Should be a 4-day, 3-night. This is Grace, our shuttle driver. She gave us a ride from Dix Creek Gap here to Neel's Gap. Thank you so much for the ride.
Glad to do it.
We'll see you down the trail.
You guys
someday.
enjoy your hike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Good morning to the Old Man Hiking Club. This is Al, and that's Pat. And Pat is back for his last hike of the season. It's actually my last hike of the season. Maine didn't beat me up enough. I needed to come back out 3 weeks later. We are here at Neel's Gap, or Neel Gap.
Neel Gap. Not Neel's, Neel.
Neel. Dropped our car at Dix Creek Gap. Grace, our shuttle driver, picked us up, brought us to Neel Gap. We got a 38-mile hike. We're going to do a 4-day, 3-night. This is Pat's first multi-night hike. How do you feel about that?
Feel good?
Scared?
Nah.
Embrace the suck?
Embrace the suck.
There should be no suck to embrace. The weather is going to be gorgeous.
Beautiful. Leaves are changing.
Leaves are changing. It should be a great time out. So we're here at Mountain Crossings, underneath the Tree of Lost Souls. And we're going to go right through this breezeway here onto the AT, get hiking. I guess the plan would be 6 to 8 miles today, 12 tomorrow, 12 Saturday, and
finish on
6 to 8 on Sunday. Just depends on how it goes.
Yep.
We thought that this was a pretty easy hike, but we were just informed that
Grace didn't she said it's not an easy hike.
She said it's not an easy hike. She said Unicoi Gap and Dix Creek Gap is the toughest part of Georgia. We were unaware. We're getting ready to find out.
Yes.
So let's get to hiking. It's going to be a beautiful hike.
All right. Hike on?
Hike on.
Oh, baby.
This is the Tree of Lost Souls. These are shoes from hikers that came to Neel Gap and quit the trail after 40 miles. All right, so here at Mountain Crossings, it's a cool little store. This is the only place on the Appalachian Trail where the Appalachian Trail goes right through the building. So we're gonna go right through this breezeway, out the other side, and we'll be on the trail. Well, we're on the trail now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're several miles down the trail. This is like the third nice campsite that we've run into. And the leaves changing colors beautifully, dropping to the ground. Walking down a trail is like walking on crunching leaves. And then we get to this little lookout here. This is just gorgeous weather. No suck on this hike, at least not yet. We have a little trail mail for us here. Little warning about yellow jackets. We're about 3 miles, a little over 3 miles, just stopped for lunch. Came across this lookout. Early on in the hike, one of the things we're finding out is water right now in the Georgia mountains is rather scarce. So we'll do anything for water, filtering it out of this tiny stream.
It's nice and cold.
Nice and cold, and it's a lot of sediment in it, but the filter takes out the sediment. But we're gonna get some water here, and then we're gonna go another mile or two, try to find us a campsite. It's 5 miles to a shelter. It's too far away. It's 4 o'clock, so we need to find something in the next mile or two. All right, we are here at Hog Pen Gap. got some water. Water worked out good. Getting ready to jump back on the trail, head north, and now we're just looking for a campsite. We can find the next campsite in the next hour. That would be great. Give us some time to set up camp, get us dinner, and be in bed by dark. So, busy looking for a campsite right now. Good morning from the Old Man Hiking Club. It is Friday, October 21st. We're down here hiking Neel's Gap to Dix Creek Gap. And we started yesterday around 11, got about till 5 o'clock, got about 8 miles in. Found us a nice little stealth site here right off the trail.
Great site, nice flat lie for me on the tent.
Yeah, and so it was dark by 7. We ate dinner and we were in our tents by 7. But it got cold last night.
Colder than you know what.
Yeah, it was unusually cold for this time of the year. I had cell signal and was texting with a buddy, and he told me that the temperature was going to be down to 24. Which is highly unusual for this time of year, but we survived the night.
Yep.
So we are up now about 8:30, getting ready to hit the trail. Got 12 miles to do to get to Unicoi Gap. There's a little information that says there might be a campsite there. If not, we're gonna have to go 4 more miles, make it a 16-mile day to get to a campsite.
Ooh.
Not too good.
We can do it.
Water is an issue out here. Yeah. We're having a hard time finding water, so we're having to kind of conserve.
Very dry.
Very dry. So let's hope we don't die of dehydration. And we get to a campsite in 12 miles.
No cannibalism here, buddy.
Yeah. Hike on.
Hike on.
All right, so we just made a stop at Low Gap. Found a shelter at Low Gap and took advantage of a nice privy that was there, so we didn't have to dig a hole. Nice water source. Got some hydration. Had a picnic table. We could sit down. So it was a nice little 20-minute stop. Ate some snacks. My gosh, it's just beautiful out here. The leaves are changing color. The leaves are falling. You can hear the crunching of the leaves underneath our feet, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, they hide a danger that lurks beneath the leaves. You never know what hole you're going to step in. Twist an ankle. Or it hides rocks really well. So there's always dangers on the trail, but that's why we do it, because we like it. So it's a little after 1, probably about 1:30, and we just had a quick stop for lunch. The goal for the day was 12.6 miles. We're trying to get to Unicoi Gap, and we've got 7 miles in by 1 o'clock, so that's not bad. I mean, we're not big mileage people, so we kind of got slapped down here. A little through hiker just came through, and he's already done 15 miles today, so there's like no chance we're going to get that kind of mileage. But mileage doesn't really matter to us, but I'm still amazed at the kind of mileage through hikers can put in. But we're going down a slight incline, and then we have a 1,000-foot elevation gain to get to the top of Blue Mountain. Pat's up there crying. Again, water's a problem. There's just not a lot of water out here. So we got 2 water sources ahead, and that's it for the rest of the day. So we're kind of conserving water, and we'll stop at those water sources and see. It's just been so dry. They haven't had a lot of rain this summer, so it's been a very dry summer, and a lot of these water sources have nothing in them. So we're gonna have to find water before we get to camp. So that's our next goal. We got I think 2 miles till we get to the water source. Hopefully there's water there. And then we're gonna have to kind of conserve down to camp and dinner. So that's the plan. All right, we're here filtering water from the tiniest of water sources. You probably can't see it, but the water is dripping off that leaf. It takes about 10-15 minutes to fill the container up, but it works. All right, we got our water, so we're doing well. That water should last us the rest of the day and into the morning. We are now making ascent up Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain is a 4,000 footer, and we've been climbing for the last 2 miles. We got 0.9 miles to get to the summit. That's probably the last place we'll have cell signal. And then we plummet 2,000 feet down to Unicoi Gap. And hopefully there's a campsite down there. I read in Far Out from one commenter that there was a campsite. So that's where we're trying to get to. And hopefully we can find something. If not, we're gonna have to go 4 more miles to get to a shelter, and that would, we'd probably get there after dark, and we don't want to do that. Yeah. So cross our fingers for a campsite down at Unicoi Gap. We'll let you know how it goes. All right, we made it to the top of Blue Mountain. 4,010 feet. It wasn't too bad.
No.
It could have been worse.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Not bad at all. It's 3:30, 3:45. We got about a 1,200 foot descent down to Unicoi Gap to our hopeful campsite, yep. if one's there. So if not, I guess we got some time to look for one. But no, Blue Mountain, not bad at all. Straight up.
Yep.
And probably straight down. No switchbacks or anything, but it wasn't as brutal as it could have been.
It was a good trail.
Yeah, trail today has been awesome.
Yeah.
Not very rocky, not very rooty. Today's been a great hike.
We just had one section that was a
little rocky.
There was a little bouldering.
Yeah, but gosh, what a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. Low 60s, high 50s. Great day.
Perfect weather for hiking.
Yeah. All right, let's get to camp.
Let's go.
Looks like we've made it to Unicoi Gap. Crossing the road to Unicoi Gap. So, sadly, we did not find a campsite at Unicoi Gap. So, we are continuing uphill 1,000 feet. It's nothing like ending the day on an ascent. But we're going uphill. We got to go 0.8 miles. And in my app called Far Out, it mentioned that there was a couple tent sites. So hopefully when we get there, there's something available. All right, let's get there. All right, we are on top of Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain.
Found us a campsite on top of the mountain. It's going to be a little colder tonight because of that 1,000-foot elevation gain that we just did. That took us over an hour to get up. It was very hard. But that makes today, which was supposed to be a 12.6, we ended up adding another 1.3 miles to that, so that's going to make it
just about 14 miles.
Just about 14, 13.9 miles.
14.
Yeah, 14. 14 sounds better.
Yes.
We'll make tomorrow a little shorter. Tomorrow was originally going to be 11 miles, so tomorrow might only be 10, or maybe we'll go a little further. But it's going to be cold again tonight because we're up high. We're 1,000 feet higher than we planned to be, so the temperature is going to be about 5 to 6 degrees colder. There's a nice little breeze up here to add a little wind chill to it. So, is that food?
It's food.
So we're cooking dinner, got campsite set up, got the beer bag hung. We're going to eat dinner and go to bed. Any final thoughts?
No, just my legs were whipped today.
Yeah. I mean, it was a hard day. It was a great day. It was a great hike. 75–80% of the trail was spectacular.
Yeah.
It was great.
Just that last mile and a half to try to find a campsite coming up the mountain.
Yeah, that was hard. I mean, that was straight up. It was a vertical, straight up. That was very hard. Had spaghetti legs after that.
Yeah.
So we need a good night's rest. Tomorrow is supposed to be a pretty butt-kicking day. The hardest part of the hike is to come, and that's tomorrow, Unicoi Gap to Dix Creek Gap.
Call me an Uber now.
Yeah. There is a road down there we call it Campata Uber. So we're going to eat and go to bed.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. This is Saturday, October 22nd. It's around 8:30, getting ready to hit the trail. Had a good night's rest last night. How about you?
Yep. Felt good. The Tylenol PM really works nice.
It does. When we went to bed, it was bitterly cold.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing up here, sitting on top of a 4,000-foot mountain. But by this morning, there must have been a little warm front blow in because it was 59 degrees when we woke up, and it was very,
nice.
Very comfortable.
Great sunrise.
Yeah. Didn't want to get out of our beds or out of our hammocks and tents, but so we're getting ready to do this should be about a 10-mile day. We did a 1.3 miles of today's hike yesterday just to find this campsite, so we're going to go
Great campsite, by the way.
it was a great campsite. We got 10 miles to go to an established campsite. Big climb right off the bat. We're going to go down about 1,000 feet, and then we're going to go back up 1,500 feet to the top of Tray Mountain, so that's going to be hard. Hardest day of the hike, according to our guide, or not our guide, our shuttle driver. Gracie told us that Unicoi Gap to Dix Creek Gap is the hardest part of Georgia, and I wish she wouldn't have told me that.
We'll find out today.
Yeah, we're going to find out. So we'll hike on and head on down the trail.
Hike on.
This is our first view of the day. Not a lot of views on the hike so far. Just these little lookouts where there's very few trees, but I think the story of this hike is going to be the weather. It has just been beautiful. And we've made it to Indian Grave Gap. It's a little road down here. We can already hear dogs and people. We're going to go down there and probably shed some layers because we're getting ready to climb 1,500 feet. Yep. And look what we got here. A little water cache. This is what you call trail magic. Somebody took the time to bring out water for the hikers, and we were in need of water, so this was perfect timing. We are now starting our ascent up Tray Mountain. Watch us going. 1,500 feet. We ran into some hikers that said they just came down it and it wasn't too bad, but of course they were coming down and we're going up. So we'll see how bad it is. But this is the highest peak of our hike. 4,500 feet. We're about a third of the way up Tray Mountain, and I'm pleasantly surprised so far. It's not been too steep. It's been a nice gradual climb. Trail again is beautiful. Walking on the leaves and the crunching of the leaves is nice. It's just nice. Run into several hikers so far out on day hikes, and 3 southbound hikers. They're looking at finishing up their hike in, I think one person was going to finish up on Sunday, and the other 2 were going to finish up on Tuesday by making it to Springer. So they're at the very end of their journey. So 2/3 left to go. So this little section's got a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You getting your donkey kicked?
Yes.
How are the legs?
My legs. It's in the rubbery, but I keep going.
You're still vertical.
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We have a little lookout here. We believe straight ahead through that tree, it's not a great view, that is Tray Mountain. So we still have another 600 feet to go. But my gosh, it's gorgeous out here. We've made it to Tray Gap, and we are now starting our final ascent up Tray Mountain. That was the mountain that I pointed out in the previous clip that we got to go up. We're looking at about 600 feet. over less than half a mile, so it's a pretty steep incline. The first half we did wasn't too bad.
This is gonna be the killer.
Yeah, this might be the killer. We've made it up to the top of Trail Mountain, 4,300 feet elevation. It was a hard hike. It wasn't super bad, and nice switchbacks, but it was good. It was good. I just finished eating lunch at Neel Gap. It's about 1 o'clock. Resupplied some water, resupplied some nutrients, and now we got just about 4 miles to get to camp. A couple big climbs coming. How do you feel?
Oh, you're leading the way, buddy. I'm gonna be dragging behind.
Yeah, the legs are getting a little wobbly.
Yeah, rubber bands.
The mountains in Georgia, they're no joke.
No.
I mean, there's several 4,000 footers. We camped on a 4,000 footer yesterday. Went 1,000 feet down, went 2,000 feet back, 1,500 feet back up again. So a lot of up and downs. They call them PUDs, pointless ups and downs.
Not pointless.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
Hike on.
Hike on.
All right, so it's right around 3 o'clock, and we hit our campsite. And there's still several good hours left in the day, and so we decided to push on. We're going to try to make Neel Gap shelter. It's 2 miles ahead. Based on mileage, it should be a piece of cake. However, we're going up 900 feet in a mile, then we go down several hundred feet to the shelter. So this is our last big climb for the day. All right, we made it to the top of Kelly Mountain?
Knob, something like
Kelly
that.
Knob. Another 4,000 footer,
Yep.
4144. Took us about 45 minutes. It was grueling.
Yes, it was.
Brutal.
Yes.
Hard. But
Well,
no, it's all...
These hikes where we climb these 4,000 at the end of the day are the killers.
Yeah. Do a 4,000 footer at the end of the day, not a good idea. But the good news is we got 0.9 miles down to the shelter, and it's all downhill.
Yes.
So,
thank goodness.
Let's hit the shelter.
All right, let's get there.
We are on a blue trail, as indicated by the blue blaze. This is a little side trail taking us to Neel Gap shelter. This is a great shelter area. Pat's got set up here. I'm set up here. Lots of space for tents and stuff. Even got a bear box, so we don't have to hang our food. And we were camping with Chris and Jeff, I think. Good morning. This is Sunday, October 23rd. We just did about a 0.4 mile hike out to the AT.
From our shelter?
From the shelter. We stayed at Neel Gap shelter last night. Great shelter, great campsite.
Had a couple of good guys to camp with.
We were camping with Chris and Joe. They were doing a little section hike themselves. Chris was an AT thru hiker in 2014. So good conversation. We ate dinner with them, had breakfast with them this morning. Really good time.
Yep.
So
enjoyed it.
I'll have to add up the mileage, but I think we did like 13.1 or 13.2 to end the day yesterday. Went 2 miles past our intended campsite because we could. We got there kind of early. We had some extra time to kill.
And it was nicer going to a shelter than just a regular campsite.
Yeah, shelter with a privy.
Yes.
Privy is important in the morning.
Yes, it is.
So we got a 3.9 mile hike out this morning. Shouldn't be very long. Should take us a couple hours. We do have a pretty significant climb up ahead of us.
And then it's downhill after that.
Downhill after that.
Thank goodness.
And then it's Mexican.
We're Mexican. Yeah.
We gotta find some. That's our reward. Is we go to
celebratory lunch.
Yeah, go out and get some Mexican for lunch. So let's get hiking, and the sooner we get to the car, the sooner we get some Mexican.
Hike on.
Hike on. First climb of the day is done. There's a 0.5 hike up several hundred feet. Got the blood flowing. We're going down a little bit. We got one more incline, and after that it's all downhill. The real star of the show this weekend has been the weather. It has just been gorgeous. I mean, what you see is what we've had for 4 straight days. Nothing but blue skies, sun. It just gets no better than this. Now we are making our final descent down into Dix Creek Gap. Really not a lot to video. Green tunnel for most of the hike, but the trail was spectacular. It's clean, no blowdowns, well maintained by the Georgia ATC. Hardly no rocks or roots. I mean, it was a joy to hike. Here we are at Dix Creek Gap. Just a few more yards and we're at the car. If you listen carefully, you can hear the traffic. Last thing we want to do is get hit by a car. Here we go. Alaska. And the big finish. Woo! 38 miles, 4 days, 3 nights. How do you feel? Your first multi-night hike. He's Rocky. He's the Rocky of backpackers.
As Carl say, I guess I'm a backpacker now, huh?
All right, so what we're gonna do, Carl told me that I have to anoint you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so.
Do I have to get down on my knees?
You gotta get on your knees. Make sure you can get back up again.
I don't know if I can get back up.
All right, so we're going to anoint you Sir Patrick Backpacker. You get the title Sir because you're over 65. You made it. Did a good job.
Hey, help me up.
Oh gosh. Gotta help the old guys out. So, great end of the hike, man. The weather today, the weather all weekend was spectacular. The weather all weekend was spectacular. I can't stop talking about it after.
How the cloud and I have the whole 4 days.
Yeah. After 7 days of rain in Maine, this was a well.
It was a blessing for
It was a blessing. I needed it. We needed some sun. So this is the last hike of the 2022 season. Not sure where 2023 is going to end up. Got a lot of people out with injuries. So we'll figure something out, but we'll definitely get back out on some hikes. It might not be as many as
Georgia was a great hike.
Yeah.
Switchbacks, Georgia.
Yeah. We did at least 4,000 footers, and the fourth one was like 3,900 and something. So darn near 4,000 footers. I can't think of a bad thing to say. It was
great.
It was great. So
I met great people out there on the trail.
Yeah.
Even the maintenance guy was a great guy.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to hike a great section of trail, Neel Gap, Dix Creek Gap, that's a great hike. So we'll sign off for now. See you next year.
See ya.
Let's go get some Mexican.
Oh, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired of trail food.
Yeah.
Drove all the way into Hiawassee, Georgia to get us some Mexican food. All right, time to dig in. Here's our waiter.
There you go, guys.
What's your name?
It's Colby.
Colby. Thank you.
No problem. Let me just knock this off real quick for you. There you go, guys.
Burrito fajito, what'd you get?
got two burritos, Sonata.